sensory neuron cell bodies. So what's happening is information, remember, sensory input information comes in to the spinal cord through the dorsal root, right? It does, okay? These are cell bodies of sensory neurons, which are always clustered in this thing right here, in the dorsal root ganglia. So sensory information comes in, passes through this, and then goes into the cord. So what you're looking at is a blow-up of this, the dorsal root ganglia.
So those black dots, those are the sensory?
Those are the cell bodies of sensory neurons.
Are those the neurons?
Those are neurons, sensory neurons. All those round things are neurons. Okay? Now, so where this is located is right here. Okay, so look at this. Okay, so this is the ganglia. Now, right here is the cord, which is the edge of the cord. So this is the central nervous system. This is the peripheral nervous system. So this thing here, the dorsal root ganglia, the sensory neuron cell bodies, but it's in the peripheral nervous system because it ain't in here. Right? So this is what happens. Watch me here. Now, so here's just a little bit of what's left of the incoming dorsal root. Right? So sensory axons, sensory neuron axons, coming in through here, pass through here.
Isn't that the dorsal branch? Right there.
Dorsal. It's called the dorsal. Well, this is the dorsal
ramus,
ganglia.
right.
This is the dorsal root. It's not the ramus.
Okay.
Ramus is somewhere else. The ramus is on the side. So it comes in through here, goes in through here, and then it's going to go into the cord. Now it's all chopped off, but now it's going to continue. It's going to continue. It's going to continue, and it's going to enter the cord right here. Right. So this thing, okay. This is the dorsal root ganglia. What we just followed was this, although it's kind of chopped off, and it enters the cord right here. Right here. Okay, this is the posterior great horn. Or do they call it dorsal great horn? I can't remember. Posterior dorsal. Posterior. Okay. Posterior great horn. Posterior great horn, right there. Okay. I feel so good here. So popular. So posterior great horn. So it comes in here. Now all of this stuff around here, these are the white columns. Right? Those are the myelinated axons. So it checks out that works. So now the sensory information comes in right here. And so this is low power. You wouldn't see any higher than this. This is the posterior great horn. Now, remember the horn looks like little wings of a butterfly. So if we kind of get into this position, maybe we do this. There's the central canal, right? This stuff, top and bottom, around the canal, this connection between this side and this side, this is the thing they call the great commissure. And right in here would be the lateral great horn, kind of the middle, so right, sort of right here, the lateral great horn. And then the ventral great horn is going to be right here. And that's going to be there. So this is the lateral would be in here. So this is the area of the lateral great horn, right here. This is the ventral great horn. The posterior great horn is just off the picture right back there. I can't get any lower than this to show you any more detail. So remember those round things we saw in the dorsal root ganglia, and I said those are sensory neuron cell bodies? I wasn't lying to you, they are. Okay. Well, now remember, so sensory information came in this way, right? Motor information is going to leave this way, because this is the dorsal root, this is the ventral root. So motor information leaves from these neurons right here, travel out of the cord this direction, and then go off to various parts of the body. So the cells that you're seeing right here, and I'll show them to you in a little higher magnification, just like I did on that dorsal root ganglia. The cells that you see in here in the ventral great horn are motor neuron cell bodies, right? Because they're going to send impulses out as dictated by your brain to your skeletal muscles. So they look like this. They're not going to be round, because the sensory neuron cell bodies are round. These guys are going to look different. They look like that. They look more like the classic neuron.
So those are motor neurons?
They're motor neurons.
What's the thing in the middle you said? The central
canal.
canal.
Yeah.
There's not as many as
Yeah,
of
probably
those.
not.
They're not,
No.
yeah.
So these guys, if you let's say you just wiped out all of these neurons right in this area. Well, you know, you probably wouldn't be paralyzed or anything like that, but you'd probably lose some motor control to somewhere, right? Because these are sending out their impulses to muscles. So anyway, so this is in the anterior, or well, I keep saying anterior. I guess I should say ventral great horn. And so let's look at it one more time. So we've got motor neuron cell bodies right here. That's the ventral great horn. And then back here, this is the posterior great horn back here, and right in between here is the lateral great horn. Tomorrow night we'll talk about the autonomic nervous system, and the neurons of the autonomic nervous system are often originating out of the lateral great horn. But that's not.
Can you go back to the motor neurons really quick?
All these guys, and they're going to send their impulses out of the cord. See if there's anything left of it. Sort of. It's really chopped up, but they're going to send their axons out of the cord this direction and out the ventral root. In other words, they're going to come out this direction. And so sensory in and motor out. Right? So their axons are going to leave. These are the cell bodies. They're in the central nervous system. They'll always be in the central nervous system. And they go out this direction, out the ventral root. Right? The only thing about the cord that's on your study guide is this thing about the anterior median fissure and the posterior sulcus. That, okay. This, unfortunately, this slide doesn't show it very well. Let's see if I can even show it to you. Okay, maybe. Okay, so there's the central canal right there. There's this little kind of, but there's this kind of little cut in the front, and that's called the anterior median front, anterior median fissure, right here. So that's the anterior fissure.
We need to know that.
I think right here. See this connection?
Yeah.
So here's the other butterfly's wing right here.
Yeah.
Here and here. So the little connection between the wings is called the great commissure, and it's this area all in through here, and that's the central canal. The posterior sulcus is not very distinct on this one, but it's back here. Right? So that's kind of what you need to know about the cord. Now, it's a little hard on a slide like this to show much more detail than this at any higher power. So things about the relations of the columns, like the anterior, lateral, posterior columns. Just remember it this way. The columns are axons, and the columns are also sometimes described as tracks because they tend to have dedicated kind of function. Like some of them are only taking information up to the brain, and some are only bringing information back down to the brain. So they're somewhat segregated in that sense, and that's the things that we're not really going to go into. But those white columns are communication trunks.
So what's the line